Morning of June 5, 2024. Larkspur, Montana. Around 8 a.m., reporter Rachel Doyle pulls into the parking lot outside the offices of the Larkspur Weekly Gazette. She's due to leave that morning on a work trip to the county seat with the town supervisor. Rachel steps inside just long enough to grab her camera equipment, then walks back out saying she needs 10 minutes. By 8:20, a car is waiting for her outside the building. She doesn't come back. When a coworker calls her cell, she picks up, tells him she'll be right there and hangs up quickly. 10 minutes pass. Then 20. She still hasn't shown up. They call again. This time, there's a strange noise on the line before the call drops. After that, her phone goes dark. Completely. To the people who worked with her, this is immediately wrong. Rachel took her job seriously. She always called ahead if she was running late. She wasn't the kind of person who just vanished, especially not on a morning with a trip already planned. Nobody waits around to see if she turns up on her own. Within hours, her co-workers, her search and rescue team, and local police are all looking for her. It's strange territory for the people helping. Many of them had worked search calls with Rachel herself, going by her call signs Sunflower. Now her name is the one on the missing persons alert. One of the first leads comes from security cameras near the newspaper office. The footage shows a man waiting for Rachel when she arrived that morning. Her ex-husband, Doyle Whitfield. A loud argument breaks out between them. Witnesses later say Rachel was shouting, asking people nearby for help. No one steps in. Then the camera catches Rachel getting into Dale's car. The car pulls away fast. By that point, Rachel had spent nearly 2 years trying to end things with Dale for good. She'd moved, changed her number, asked him to leave her alone. He never did. Local search teams traced the direction the car went. About 10 hours later, the trail leads into a wooded area outside of town. They find Rachel there. She'd been stabbed multiple times. Nearby, they find Dale's car. And Dale himself dead. What happened between the moment that car pulled away and the moment they were found in those woods? Why did Rachel get in the car with a man she'd spent 2 years trying to escape? And why did nobody who saw them arguing outside the office step in? Let's go back to the beginning. Rachel Doyle was 36 years old, a reporter and photographer for the weekly paper in Larkspur. She'd raised her son Tyler mostly on her own since he was a baby, working her way through a string of jobs: radio operator, retail, a community center job working with kids, before she finally found the one she loved. Local journalism. She covered town council meetings and county fairs, but what she really lived for was writing about people. She photographed, she designed the layout, she interviewed the old-timers nobody else bothered to ask. She wrote poetry on the side. She was loud, funny, easy to talk to, the kind of person who became the center of a room, without trying. And when someone in town needed help, she didn't wait to be asked. She was an active volunteer with a regional search and rescue group. A few months before her death, she'd spent weeks volunteering overseas, cooking meals for soldiers and collecting their stories for the paper. She came home changed, already planning to go back. None of that prepared anyone for what was waiting for her the next time she pulled into that parking lot. Rachel married Doyle Whitfield in the summer of 2021. He was 40, quiet, closed off, the kind of man who barely said 10 words at a family dinner. He worked logistics for the county, ordering supplies and filing paperwork, a job nobody thought twice about. He'd been married before and had a son from that marriage he still saw regularly. On social media, he posted the occasional family photo, always with the same flat, unreadable expression. Neighbors called him calm. Co-workers called him normal. Nobody who knew him casually would have guessed what was underneath. Rachel's friends never understood the match. She was bright, magnetic, always in motion. He was the opposite in every visible way. More than one friend admitted, looking back, that they used to ask each other what she saw in him. But Rachel didn't waver. She defended the relationship. And by August 2021 they were married. A wedding. Photo shows the two of them walking hand in hand down a dirt road, looking like the start of something good. For a while, online at least, it looked that way. She posted about flowers he'd brought her, wrote that if aliens ever found him they'd steal him because he was the best man on earth. They spent holidays with both families. She called his mother wise and kind. On a family photo with both boys, she captioned it, "Best stepdad a kid could ask for." But underneath the posts something else was building. Doyle's jealousy didn't show up all at once. Crept in. Questions about where she'd been, who she'd talked to, why she was late. Rachel's job meant she was constantly around people. Sources, co-workers, volunteers on search calls that could come in at any hour. To her, that was just her life. To Doyle, it became something to control. He started asking her to travel less, see fewer people, live by rules that made sense only to him. She didn't stop. The tension between them kept building, and at some point, according to people close to her, the control turned physical. He started hitting her. She didn't tell anyone outside the marriage. She kept posting the good moments, kept up appearances, maybe hoping it would pass, maybe not ready to admit that the man she'd chosen against everyone's advice had turned into someone else entirely. Being a known figure in a small town made it harder, not easier, to speak up. She worked closely with the local government. Talking about the abuse meant putting her private life in front of everyone she worked with. At some point, she decided she couldn't stay. The marriage had lasted less than 2 years. By 2023, she had moved out, stopped appearing with him in photos, and started rebuilding a life that was entirely her own. Back at the paper. Back with search and rescue. Back in the middle of her community. For Rachel, the relationship was over. Doyle disagreed. For almost 2 years after the divorce, Doyle wouldn't let go. He called. He texted. He showed up outside her house. He tracked down her new address more than once after she moved specifically to get away from him. Friends said he watched her, waited for her, refused to accept that she'd made her choice. Rachel didn't go to the police. Maybe she hoped it would fade on its own. Maybe, like a lot of women in her position, she underestimated how far it could go. What we know is that the pressure never really stopped. Sometimes quiet, sometimes not. One winter, she told a friend Doyle had broken windows at her house. The same friend later said Doyle told her he'd leave the country and never come back if she didn't take him back, using guilt as one more tool to make her responsible for his choices. It wasn't an attempt to win her back in any healthy sense. It was a refusal to accept that she had the right to live without him. And the longer she stayed away, building a life that clearly didn't include him, the more determined he seemed to become. In the spring before she died, Rachel took a volunteer trip overseas with a group supporting deployed troops, cooking meals, collecting stories, doing what she always did, showing up for people who needed her. She came home talking about going back. It would be one of the last things she posted about. Whatever Doyle was doing during those weeks she was away, he wasn't done waiting. Everything up to this point explains why Rachel was so shaken to find Doyle waiting outside her office that morning. And maybe why, after 2 years of trying to avoid exactly this kind of confrontation, she got into his car anyway. Investigators believe she may have hoped that talking to him one more time, without an audience, would finally end it. Or she may have been trying to keep him from making a scene at her workplace. Either way, it was the last decision she'd ever make. Search teams traced Doyle's car using traffic and security cameras leading out of town. By evening, roughly 10 hours after Rachel went missing, the trail ended in a wooded area outside Larkspur. They found Doyle's car first. He was lying near it, dead. In the brush nearby, they found Rachel. She'd been stabbed multiple times and was already gone by the time anyone reached her. A knife was recovered at the scene. One investigators believed Doyle had brought with him, meaning this wasn't a fight that spiraled out of control in the moment. It looked planned, the most likely account, based on the evidence. Doyle drove Rachel to an isolated spot, attacked her, and she died there from her injuries. He never called for help. He never tried to explain himself. He stayed at the scene and took his own life, with both of them dead, and no other witnesses in that stretch of woods. There's no way to know exactly what was said between them in those final minutes. Only what was left behind. Rachel's 17-year-old son Tyler lost his mother in a single afternoon, the woman who had raised him almost single-handedly, who'd built her entire life around him. Her younger sister stayed close to him in the days after, describing the loss as if half of her own heart had been taken with her sister. The town's reaction was immediate. People who'd worked with Rachel, been interviewed by her, searched alongside her for missing hikers. All of them had a story. The town supervisor called her one of the most genuinely caring people he'd worked with. Someone who volunteered constantly and never asked for anything back. Rachel spent years being the person other people called when they were in trouble. She'd helped strangers, driven hours to join search efforts, cooked meals for soldiers who weren't even from her own country. She was good at rescuing people. What made her death so hard for the people who knew her is that when the danger finally came for her, it didn't come from a stranger in the woods. It came from someone she'd already tried for 2 years to get away from. If this story stayed with you, let us know in the comments. And if there's someone in your life dealing with a controlling or abusive partner, take it seriously. It rarely stays the same size it started as.